Hey y'all, it's CherokeeStarfish, and I regret to inform you that this is, once again, the mystery of the Druids. If you were here last time, you got to enjoy how the game opens up not only with moon logic but bastardry. And I am very sorry and overjoyed to tell you that it only gets worse almost immediately. So here we are in Carmore, right? And here is Captain Deneuve over here. Here is our good friend Pierre. Pierre is the only character in this game I care about, by the way. Pierre is just a good blue-collar guy. He's just doing a job. He lost his business in the fishing industry crash of 2000, I guess. But he is out here every day, all day, fishing in the harbor because he's got guests coming over tonight, and he'll be damned if he doesn't feed them all. So we stan Pierre and no one else in this game, including Low Poly Destiel here. Or Castiel, I'm sorry. Freudian slip. So... Also, if you were here last time, you may recall that the game fought back against being played in a number of interesting ways, one of which is the semi-famous cat glitch. So, Pierre mentioned Captain Deneuve's cat. We'll ask him about it again to refresh your memory. Oh, actually, I almost forgot. I've been talking over this loud music. Here we go. Let me turn the music down a little bit because, there we go, every time that you exit the game it resets its settings to default. Just another feature it offers. So yeah, here we go. Capitaine Deneuve.
I'd like to ask you something about Capitaine Deneuve. Have you? Yes.
Right,
well, 50 cents. You'll have...
Here we go.
Is he a friend of yours?
Friend? No. Well, I've seen him almost every day for a number of years. Yes, now I come to think of it, I suppose we are friends.
Do you get on well with each other? I should think it's pretty difficult being friends with a man like him.
Oh, we get on rather well, really. We don't talk much, you know. If anything, he does the talking, spins his yarns. The only thing about him that sometimes drives me crazy is his damned cat.
There we go.
Captain has a cat.
Yes. He lets her out here on the jetty in the morning and takes her back in at night. And the damned beast spends all day slinking around here.
You don't like cats?
I hate cats. They steal the fish from my bucket or get tangled up in my fishing line. The nervous creature has often knocked my bucket of bait over, and I've had to go and get some more. I've told him hundreds of times to take the animal on the ferry with him, but he just won't do it.
So there we go. There is the backstory of the cat. Now, for those of you who watched the first stream, whether that was here on Twitch with me or if you're watching on YouTube, thank you. I am so sorry, but part 1 is available on YouTube as well. So you may recall the phone booth puzzle. I'm not going to explain it because I want you to go and watch the other video. Because if I have to suffer, then so do you. Suffice to say, Detective Halligan is not a man of much character, in my opinion. So, keeping in mind the phone booth puzzle, what do you think we're going to have to do here, now that we know there's a cat? Now, I've prepared for this moment. I'm going to try and spawn the cat around the glitch. Okay? That's why we weren't able to do that last time. When Pierre here tells you about Captain Deneuve's cat, then whenever you leave a conversation with Pierre, like once you're zoomed in here and then every time you back out, the cat is supposed to spawn right over here, right? And that's not happening. And this is a known issue, and it sometimes happens when, like, you all can see the game in its original 4:3 resolution, but it is actually almost impossible to play it windowed, and so for me, it is full screen stretched to 16:9. I am playing in full glorious 1080p. And when that is the case, the cat is known not to spawn. It only wants to spawn in the original 4:3 resolution for some reason, or in windowed mode. Well, since you can't play in windowed mode, because the game is held together, I think, with like toothpicks and paper clips, there's only so much that you can do. So what I have done is I was earlier able to get the cat to spawn. I was able to record the cutscene that follows, and I have a save file ready that we will go to if I'm not able to do it again, where we can skip ahead to where we have already done what we need to do with the cat, and we're past that point. But first, before we do that, I am going to try and get the cat to spawn so that y'all can see it and experience it for yourselves. So, here we go. Bear with me. The game may very well crash. Go. Come on, Pierre.
Excuse me.
Yeah?
I'd like...
Have you?
Yeah.
I'm going to try talking to him about the cat again.
You'll have...
Is he a
Yes.
You get
Because sometimes, like when I was doing it
Yes,
earlier,
you don't-
that seemed to help. Like maybe it was helping to force the cat to spawn. One of his conversation triggers, and presumably it's the one where he actually tells you about the cat, seemed to help it spawn. We may not be able to get the spawn. Oh, I really want to, though. And I did do it earlier, but this game is so fussy and cobbled together that I just don't know for sure.
Excuse me.
Yes?
I'd like to...
Have you?
Yeah. I have...
Thank
Okay, let me try doing this again.
Excuse...
Yes?
I will load it.
I'd like...
Have you?
Yeah. Can you...
Well, 50
Sir,
You'll have...
is he a...
Yes.
And you get...
If any... The only...
The cap...
Yes.
You don't...
I've told...
Okay.
No.
Oh, there we go. Maybe. Oh, and there we go. Game crashed. Okay, 1 second here. I keep getting error messages as I try to do this. Come on now.
Excuse me.
Yes?
I'd like...
Come on, kitty cat.
Can you...
Well, 50 You'll have...
Is he...
Fred, yeah. If any... Only...
The cap...
Yes.
You don't...
I've told...
I have...
Thank you.
Oh, come on. I know you can do it. I believe in you. I believe in you, cat. Yeah, here. Psst, 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 psst. Kitty, 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 kitty. Yes, give me your energy. Thank you, love.
Yes?
Come on, man. It really took me a long time to get this earlier too, so... Let me try it this way. Maybe if we do it while we are in the screen with Pierre.
Yes?
Yeah, at least the music is good. Like, oh, and now we've lost Halligan. God, this fucking game. Yeah, for whatever reason, the soundtrack actually kind of slaps. Like, it is almost totally inappropriate at pretty much all times for whatever the situation at hand may be.
Excuse me? Yes?
But
I'd like to. Yeah. Can you?
Well, so you'll have...
See,
Yeah, if you... Yes.
you don't. Okay.
No.
come on. Let him play, coach. Let us play. All right. Well, okay. We're just not going to be able to get it. So I will tell you what happens, unfortunately. I'll just have to narrate for you. So what happens is when you come out of the conversation with Pierre, when you back out of this screen with him, right, the cat spawns right here in a little video file and walks behind these drums and disappears. So then what you must do is, well, when we can capture it, but what you have to do is you have to walk way over here, and you do have to walk. You cannot run, because Detective Halligan will say, I can't run, I might spook the cat. I might scare it off. So you have to walk over here, and then you wait a variable, indeterminate amount of time, and the cat will reappear over here and walk from behind this drum over behind these boxes. And then it will walk out from behind these boxes, and it will sit down right approximately here. When that happens, you have to take the green scarf and click on the cat. When you do that, Detective Halligan barehanded kidnaps, or should I say catnaps, this animal, and stuffs it into his inventory, resulting in this. So here we go. We have the purloined cat, so now, what do you think we're gonna do with the cat? Any guesses? If you said that Detective Halligan is gonna be an asshole for no reason, you were correct. So yeah, here we go. We take that story he told us about the cat and use it against him. This kind man who has only helped us.
Calm down. You can always get some new baits.
What about my fishing tackle? What about my telescope ultralight 47 for 800 francs? I can't leave it here unguarded. It could be stolen. I'll have to take everything with me, just because of that damned cat.
Don't worry, Pierre. I'll keep an eye on your things.
Would you?
Of course. No problem.
Thank you, my friend. Then I'll go right now.
So there we go. So we capture the captain's cat and use Pierre's story about how aggravating it is to turn it against him by releasing the cat, and because Pierre does not comment on the fact that we let the cat out right in front of him on purpose from our scarf, I can only assume that we deliberately waited until his back was turned. So, now that that's happened, we're gonna steal his bucket and his expensive fishing rod.
That's Pierre's bucket. It's empty. Pierre's fishing rod. A telescope ultralight 47, if I'm not mistaken.
So there you go. For what reason? Why do we need this fishing equipment? Well, who knows? Who knows? Isn't Detective Halligan an upstanding officer? So now what we're going to do is go over here. We can now look at this lower area of the ferry in greater detail. We can kind of zoom in on it. We couldn't do that before. We're going to take the bucket. This white residue here.
There's no point in that.
Did we get it?
That's Pierre's bucket.
No.
It's empty.
Okay, wait. Here we may have to do it in this order. We have to combine them. Oh, we have to combine them first, and then we do this. So yeah, with Captain Deneuve presumably just standing on board ship watching us, we randomly just do this.
These are huge lumps of salt.
And we did that to get some salt off of the edge of his boat. Yes. Yes. So no, we can't just go to a shop. Are you serious, Crow? No, absolutely we cannot go to a shop, because remember, we've lost our wallet and can't requisition any money from anyone at Scotland Yard, apparently. Also, salt is not just, like, available on everything, because this is literally the sea. So instead we have to listen to this fisherman's story. We have to catnap an innocent animal. We have to turn it loose on this man who has only helped us while his back was turned. We have to ruin his hard day's work of fishing. And remember, he is fishing for his dinner and for his guests' dinner, because he doesn't really have a job anymore because his business failed, right? So we ruined his day of fishing, stole his equipment, including his expensive fishing rod, which cost 800 francs, which we are not giving back, and used it to scrape some salt off the edge of this boat. What an adventure. Right? Yeah, that's just how you do it in real life, right? That's totally just how that's how it's done.
This must be the castle. Or rather what's left of it. Pretty creepy.
So, here we go, our first look at Carmore Castle. I love how whenever you turn him in a different direction, especially if he's already moving or if you tell him to run, he sort of like floats and scoots vaguely in that direction in slow motion.
This castle must have been a real fortress before it collapsed.
Indeed. So we need to go down the stairs. And this is the cemetery that they were talking about.
An iron gate.
Now, it's locked. What do you think we will use to unlock the gate? I want to hear your ideas. So let's do a quick inventory check, right? We have some salt. We have our stolen fishing rod and bucket. We also have our stolen scarf, our stolen fingerprint print powder. We have our bone chip in a bag. We have our bone in a bag. We have our gloves, evidence bags. We still have some apple juice. We got some matches. And we have this case file.
My case file.
Which of these do you think is the key to open our way forward? Place your bets now. Do 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 do. Surely it's the bone, right? Right? That makes sense, because we could use the gloves to like grab the rusty gate or something, right? We haven't used them yet either. Skeleton key. See, now you're thinking. Now you're thinking with portals. No, it's this. Yeah. Yeah, we used our case file folder like a credit card in a movie, apparently, to open the lock. Yeah. Um, right. I mean, the first time that I played this game a long time ago, there were a number of puzzles that I only muddled my way through because, in true point and click adventure fashion, I took everything in my inventory one at a time and clicked on everything. Because without a walkthrough, that's the only way you can get through the mystery of the Druids, I think. So here we go. Lovely rundown cemetery. Doesn't look like anybody's been taking care of it. Let's see, which one of these gravestones is it? May have to go further in. Oh, there's a dude. Uh-oh. Is it? Which one of these is it? Maybe it's further in. This is another one of those puzzles that you just... Ah, here we go. I think this is it. You just have to look around until you can find something to look at. Now, why is this important?
A gravestone. Pretty weather-beaten.
Now, he calls that out, and that is your only clue, right? Now, presumably all of these are pretty weather-beaten because it's an ill-maintained cemetery. But on this one specifically, he mentions that it is weather-beaten, and you will notice that wind and water has kind of formed a divot up here on the top. We have to place the salt in this little kind of natural bowl, right? Because it's big old lumps of salt. What are you going to do with a big lump of salt? Nothing. You need to have powdered salt or you know, ground salt. So we're going to use...
That's the bone from Epping Forest. Wrapped up.
Yes, we are going to take this femur bone from a murder victim out of its poorly wrapped evidence bag. That this is an active piece of evidence from an active crime scene, and we use it as a mortar and pestle to grind this salt. God. I don't know, Des. I don't know what anyone was thinking that worked on this game. It's something. Okay, so now we'll go behind the church where we saw a dude. A mysterious dude. Oh yeah, no, yeah, you heard me. You heard that correctly. Yep. It's fine, right? Yeah, you gotta use the evidence bone. You have to, because that's what's in your inventory. You don't have a rock. Oh, look at this. I love this. Look at the little mini castle. It's so good.
A mausoleum.
And mausoleum. Now, remember the story that we heard from Captain Deneuve, right? Oh, many times, especially since, remember, he stole the gloves from evidence as well. So he's used to this. Everything in our inventory was stolen from some innocent person, including these matches, except for the case file, the apple juice, presumably, because we know this was given to him. This was already in his desk drawer and he didn't comment on stealing it, but he felt the need to let us know that the gloves were stolen. And the evidence bags, which I assume he's supposed to have, because that is like police equipment. But anyway, so remember what Capitan Deneuve said about how the castle crumbled because of druid magic and it's evil, and if you throw salt at it, it's an element of destruction and purification, right? So this is what we need the salt for.
It seems to have worked.
telling y'all. I am telling you. And you just have to piece, like, all of this together from context clues from, like, the stories that NPCs tell you after you exhaust all of their many really long dialogue options. Right? There is no... Because this is fucking moon logic. Oh, boy. So, destruction of public property. Now another one of our crimes. So here's this red chest, right? Aha. And perhaps in here, the amulet that we were told about.
This must be the amulet. I found it.
No one else could find it, but we found it. So there we go.
That's the Amulet of Transformation. I'd really like to know why it's called
Wouldn't you?
that.
Wouldn't y'all like to know why it's called that? Hey. Alright, we're done here. Oh, look. It's that suspicious figure again. He's clipping out of existence. Follow him in slow motion. In slow motion. I love that there's just no music for this part of the game, by the way. We were just talking about how the soundtrack weirdly slaps, but not here. Not here, it doesn't. Which I'm going to do all of this and go back to the docks and the damn cat will spawn. Alright, so we're done here. Pierre is not back. And we are just going to take his stuff and we are literally going to leave France and go back to England.
Monsieur le Capitaine,
What can I do for you?
when are you leaving for Portsmouth?
In 2 hours. Are you coming?
Yes.
Then come aboard.
So here we are. In our cabin in the ferry. Let's go ahead and we'll give this a save. We've done quite a bit after all. So, we have found the precious amulet. Very important. Now, let's see. If I remember correctly, it is... Ah, here we go.
Hey, this flap opens up.
Yes, the flap opens up. Why do we care?
That won't get me any further.
I love he just puts his arm casually through the closet door or whatever.
A perfect hiding place for the amulet. No one will find it.
Yeah,
there.
because we were being watched, right? So we need to secure the amulet. We don't want anyone to know. So let's step outside.
I think I'll go and get some fresh air. I'm feeling a bit uneasy. God, what's been going on here? Someone's broken into my cabin and searched through all my things.
Wow, surprise, shock, gasp, alarm. Look at this. Someone has gone through all of our stuff except that the many, many stolen items we still have in our inventory. Yeah, right.
Whoever did this made a thorough job of it. Whoever did this made a thorough job of it. What's this? I think they're fir needles. No, not like that.
Oh,
This is
now he
evidence.
cares about protocol. There we go. So now we have...
The fir needles from the cabin. Seized as evidence according to regulation.
According to regulation, seized as evidence.
Whoever did this made a thorough job of
Right.
it.
But
The amulet. Where's the amulet? It's been stolen. I don't believe
if only
it.
we had kept it in our inventory, along with everything else that didn't get stolen. If only the game didn't, for some ridiculous reason, make us put it in this air vent, where no one would ever look
The
for it.
amulet. Where's the amulet? It's It's been stolen. I don't believe it. Blast it. The thief must still be on board. But we're pulling into the harbor. I'll never catch him now.
And that's it. We give up. Oh, well, it's a shame we didn't catch him. Whoever he was. Oh, no. Well, not enough, obviously, Des, because if we had one more pocket, we could have kept the amulet. Well, since we've already given up on finding the amulet, we better at least tell someone that we found it, right? So Mr. Blake here was the one who had all of that information. Let's go back and see him.
Hello, Mr. Blake. I'm back.
And? Did you find the amulet?
That's a long story.
I love the hard cut from outside to here, just no transition.
Well, go on then. I can't wait to hear what happened.
I found the amulet. It was walled up in the Lord's mausoleum.
Really? It really does exist then. And you've got it. Show me.
And again, we have one of these instances where you have to click to progress the game for some reason, even though there's only one dialogue choice.
Well, I did have it, but it was stolen from me.
Stolen? How did that happen?
No idea. I hid it in my cabin during the crossing. Someone broke in and rummaged through all my luggage.
Was anything else missing?
No, not a thing.
Someone must have been following you.
I didn't notice anyone. Who could have known I'd been looking for an amulet and that
You
godforsaken-
didn't notice anyone
Certain
in a black
people
t-shirt
may
and
take a great interest
sunglasses.
in your investigations, Mr. Halligan. Do not underestimate the power of the Druids.
Oh, Lord. Mr. Blake.
Mr. Blake, are you saying the Druids stole the amulet? That's absurd.
The amulet is vital to the perfection of their ritual. Believe me, we're not the only ones with a particular interest in the amulet. The Druids are after it just as much.
I thought the Druids ceased to exist 1,000 years ago.
It seems there are still some left after all. Just as I suspected, they are among us now. They never left us in the first place.
Oh, I love the hoops that this game jumps through. Like, I thought you said the Druids were gone 1,000 years ago. Nope, well, they must be here. Obviously they're here, because who else would steal the amulet? And, I mean, in a certain... I guess to a certain degree that doesn't make sense. Who would steal the amulet, right? People who think that they're Druids, at least. Yes, they are among us. My favorite part, though, is just, oh, I didn't notice anyone suspicious. Okay.
I haven't met anyone who looked like a Druid so far.
No, Mr. Halligan. You won't recognize the inheritors by their cloaks and sickles. They're people, just like you and me. They could be powerful industrialists, high-ranking politicians, or influential military men, people in key positions of society.
What can I do then? I can't possibly check up on the entire upper class of British society looking for a couple of Druids.
No, but it may be worth your while to keep an eye on groups of neo-Druids. If anyone tries to justify their claims to the Druids' inheritance, they will.
Let me double check. Has the... Okay, no. It's just that loud. Hopefully that you can hear the dialogue okay over top of the music.
Neo-Druids? What are they?
There are a number of groups around claiming to be the Druids' rightful successors. They're organized in orders, like Templars or Freemasons.
Tell me more about these Neo-Druids.
Like I said, the Neo-Druids try to live their lives according to ancient Druid ideals. Some of them do a lot of charitable work as well. But there are some really dubious associations going around, combining the Druids' customs with occult rites. Rumors say that there is such a sect at large somewhere in London.
In London?
In London, you said? Do you know where I might find these people?
I've no idea. All I know is that the only people who know anything about the Order refer to it as the Circle.
Thank you, Mr. Blake. I'll see what I can make of it.
Good. If you have any more questions, don't hesitate to call on me anytime you like.
Unfortunately, we can't actually call him because we don't have money for a phone.
One more thing, Mr. Blake.
Yes,
I get the impression this business could get pretty dangerous from now on.
yes. Very likely, Mr. Halligan.
It may be safer for both of us if we let someone else in on the matter. Please call Melanie Turner in Oxford and tell her the whole story. Make sure she learns everything you've told me. She works at the Anthropological Museum. Her number's in the phone book. And tell her I'll get in touch with her myself as soon as possible. Would you do that for me?
Of course, Mr. Halligan. Good luck.
Halligan out. All right. Well, the trail has gone cold, except for this information we have about the circle, so now it's back to Scotland Yard.
Halligan, into my office at once.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
Someone found out about all of the evidence we've been stealing from crime scenes. All of the crimes we've been committing.
Halligan, come on in. I suppose we should be glad that you drop in now and then.
What's the matter, Chief?
You know, Halligan, I was just asking myself what you've been doing.
I've been investigating, Chief.
Well, have you? And do you know what I've been doing? I've been dismissing loads of press people, worried citizens, and politicians from my office. The phone hasn't stopped ringing since this morning. The mayor's been to my office, and I haven't seen much of you. When do you expect to come up with results?
I'm getting there, Chief, but it takes time.
Takes time? Takes time? Will I ever get to hear anything else from a detective? Where the heck have you been, Halligan?
Oh, I went to France.
You'll get a report at the end of the week.
The end of the week? Why not at the end of the month or at the end of the year? I want the results on my desk tomorrow morning, Halligan. And now, I want to know where you've been all this time.
You'll find out when you read the report I'm going to write.
Don't be impertinent, Detective. As your chief, I'm entitled to ask you about the results of investigations and your proceedings whenever I like.
Yes, Chief, of course.
That sounds better. Otherwise, I could have you write a report about every single step of your proceedings, and I think you know that.
Very well, then. I was visiting an expert on Druids.
You were what? Halligan, have you lost your marbles? You're not supposed to be indulging in your hobbies. You're supposed to be solving the skeleton murders.
Is that all, Chief?
No, that is not all. One of the phone calls this morning was from the 4th District in Oxford.
Uh-huh. And?
A beggar has been to see them. He claimed that somebody had first put him to sleep and then robbed him. And do you know who that person was? No? A man who calls himself Detective Halligan! Our colleagues looked into the Central Personal Database and guess what? They found a man by the name of Detective Halligan. And he works for my department. What do you say to that?
Ah, yes. So the beggar went and tattled on us. Uh-oh. So yeah, for some reason that stupid thing that we did, that awful thing that we did, actually has consequences? Imagine.
When did you receive the phone call from our colleagues?
Oh, less than half an hour ago. Have you any idea how embarrassed I was about the affair? The colleague I talked to said that the beggar still had some of the substance he'd been knocked out with. Medical alcohol with apple juice. Halligan, please tell me you didn't do it.
I had nothing to do with it, Chief, honestly.
Well, I hope so, for your benefit. From now on, I expect you to start looking into the case at hand.
There's not even a dialogue option. He just straight up lies about it. Oh, well, we can say this.
Chief, the beggar must be mistaken. It's a mix-up.
A mix-up? I hope so. If these accusations turn out to be true, you can spend the rest of your professional life washing police cars.
Okay, Chief. I read you.
Indeed? Excellent, Detective. Then get out and do your job. And Halligan, if I should hear that you are conducting your investigations in any dubious or illegal way, I'll take you off the case immediately.
Understood, Chief.
Any dubious or illegal way? Well, shit. Just wait until Pierre calls and tells him about the stolen fishing rod. Jeez. Oh, goodness gracious. So here we are back here. We didn't get to do much in this room last time, but things have progressed.
Hello, Janet.
Hello, Brent. I've heard you've already been on the move today.
Yes, I'm conducting investigations in the skeleton murder case. You've heard about it, haven't you?
Indeed. I couldn't fail to hear the conversation between Larry and the chief. Okay, what do you need?
Oh, I've met an interesting old man who has told me about an organization called The Circle.
That sounds exciting.
Yes, doesn't it?
What are you talking about? Janet's completely normal. Look at her.
Now I need some information about that. From the database. May I just...
Brent, you know the official channels, and it's time you got used to sticking to them.
Keep calm, Janet. I'd just like to sit at your terminal for 5 minutes. No more.
You're not allowed at my terminal, Brent. Not for 5 minutes, not for 1 minute, not at all. You know that. After your last inquiries, the chief has ordered that you need official permission in future. It's bad manners to use a police computer for sick jokes about the royal family.
So yeah, in case you missed the first episode, there is a setup reason, there is a backstory about how Detective Halligan has always been an asshole, so that can come back to bite us here in the present, and force us to solve yet another puzzle and jump through these hoops.
I thought Chief Inspector Miller had just abolished the security regulations.
No, he hasn't, Brent. Is that all?
Good. See you later, then.
Take your time, Brent.
Hello, Janet.
Hello, Brent.
Let's see.
Yeah,
We
Indeed.
need...
yeah.
She's supposed to give us a form.
Well, not bad, is it? Please have the necessary information ready by 2 p.m. and arrange a press conference.
Are you mad? Look, I'm not your secretary, detective. Any information in this department is to be treated according to Regulation 12A23. Look, you've got the case file, and that will have to suffice. If you need more information, then you will have to get a 234-2 with 1 copy.
Let's see.
A 342 too?
No, a 234-2. Have you got it or not?
Since when do we need something like this?
Don't try to act the innocent. You know very well that this department has only had this problem since your last research.
So I won't get anywhere without it then?
Exactly, Brent. Rules are rules.
Good. See you later then.
Take your time, Brent.
Alright, so let's head back here. She doesn't give us the form directly. I think we have to...
It's always handy having one of these
Yes.
tucked away. We ran out not so long ago, and there was a big commotion on this floor. Carbon paper. I'll take that with me. You never know. I might need it. Paper clips. An instruction from the chief. It says, Mrs. Browning, there are no exceptions to be made regarding the new safety regulations. I hope I make myself clear. Attach this note to your pinboard and stick to it. Chief Inspector Miller. Clipboards. At least that's one thing you can get hold of here without too much trouble. They are needed for the forms. Makes it easier for the chief to sign them.
There we go. Okay, so now we have to combine these things.
I don't believe it will work like that. That's a form for stationery procurement. Without that, you don't get anything at Scotland Yard. It would have surprised me if it had worked like that. Think first, Brent. That doesn't work.
Oh my goodness gracious.
I don't believe it will work like that. That would be stupid.
Would it?
Looks like that won't. It would have surprised
Oh
me if
my
it had
God.
worked like that.
Got another.
Thank you for the resub, Crow. 19 months, wow.
Not a good idea. Not a good
Has
idea.
it been that
It won't
long?
work like that. Looks like that won't work.
Oh my lord.
I can't see any connection there.
I bet you can't.
That won't get me any further.
So these three things are supposed to go together.
Paper clips.
There is nothing else here for me to take. So we have the carbon paper, we have the clipboard, we have the procurement form.
Of course, it won't work like that. That's a form for stationary
goodness.
procurement. Without that, you don't get anything at Scotland Yard.
There's nothing here, right? Not yet. This stupid puzzle. There is nothing else. You're just supposed to...
I don't know. Not a... No way. No way. Think first, Brent. No.
Oh my gosh.
That doesn't work. A sheet of carbon paper. Very useful when dealing with bureaucrats. That's a clipboard.
Yes, it is.
That's a clipboard. Looks like that won't work.
There's Lowry again. He is still levitating. By sheer calf power, apparently. Maybe we need to get the scissors first. There we go.
Halligan,
Yes?
might I ask you what you think you're doing?
I just wanted to borrow your scissors. Just for 5 minutes.
Forget it.
For heaven's sake, it's only a pair of scissors.
Only a pair of scissors? Well, if it's only a pair of scissors, I'm sure you won't have much difficulty in getting a pair from somewhere else. Am I right?
Oh my god.
All right then, keep them.
What is it this time, Halligan?
So, this is another instance where we don't have scissors in our own office for some reason, and we can't just go literally anywhere in Scotland Yard and get another pair of scissors. So, in order to get access to these scissors, I wouldn't trust this guy with scissors for sure. So how are we going to get these scissors? Well,
I'd really like to know how a braggart like you managed to get a date with Janet.
Well, you know what, Halligan? Women do like a winner, don't they? Little Janet is no exception. We went to the palace yesterday.
What was showing?
The new Schwarzenegger film.
You know how to handle women, don't you?
Of course. Janet said she found it disgusting, but I know for a fact that she was very keen on it. Women are like that. Do you understand?
What amazes me is why a woman like her should find your boring stories about cars, sports, and action films so entertaining.
Halligan, I'm sure you didn't come to tell me that. What do you really want?
Do you know how to operate the copying machine?
Yes, I do.
But you're not going to tell me, right?
You really are a clever boy, Halligan.
You're a really nice person, Lowry.
I do my best.
Okay. I'll talk to you later, Lowry.
What is it this time, Halligan?
so we have to bully him.
Where can I find Detective Stryker?
Striker? On holiday. Why?
Maybe he could tell me more about the skeleton murders.
Halligan, I coordinated the case. Striker was my right hand. You won't get anything new out of him.
Okay. I'll talk to you later, Lowry. Lowry's phone.
What is it this time, Halligan?
Oh my goodness.
Lowry, about our conversation before.
What?
I've got some questions for you.
My God, Halligan, you just don't get the message, do you? Well, what is it?
Let's not argue, Lowry. I need some information from you about the last investigations.
You've got the file, Halligan. I suppose you can read. And now scram!
Lowry, I've read your file. There's just nonsense in it.
Do you know what I think, Halligan? I think I don't need to tolerate a detective in a £20 suit walking past my door criticising the quality of my work.
Well, it's hardly my fault that the chief has taken you off the case. It's your own fault.
You can keep your analysis to yourself. Just leave me alone.
You're obliged by your office to give me any information I may require.
You've got all the information. You've got the file. What more do you want?
Thanks for being so helpful, Detective.
You're welcome, Halligan. What is it this time, Halligan?
I know that you'll say no, but I have to ask for your help.
You do actually need help, Halligan. But not from me. Try a social worker. Well?
God.
You know how to operate the copying
These
machine?
two.
Yes, I do.
And will you tell me?
Just guess.
Yes?
Nearly right. No would have been the correct answer, but you nearly got it, old boy.
God.
Okay. I'll talk to you later, Lowry.
What is it this time, Halligan?
So, may not be procking because we have not been able to combine the file. Oh my gosh.
Have you ever heard of an organization called The Circle?
The Circle? Is that somehow connected to the crop circles?
Okay, forget it, Lowry. I'd really like to know.
Well, little
What was
the new,
you know?
of course, women.
Well, I would have thought that Janet had more sense.
Oh, actually, I think she's got very good sense. That's why she always refuses to let you take her out somewhere. She prefers to go out with a man who doesn't dress in rags dragged out of rubbish bins or eat the same pizza every day.
Did she say that?
The facts speak for themselves, Halligan. You eat pizza in your office, and I go to the cinema with Janet. That's the way things work. Oh, I'm sorry, old boy.
What amazes me is why a woman like
Halligan, what are you...
Do you know?
Yes.
And we
Just...
No?
Quite.
You're a real.
I do.
Okay.
Has
Cool,
this
I should
fixed
think about
this?
it again.
No. Oh my god, this is another, like, ridiculous puzzle, right? So, I don't know why it's not letting us combine these forms. Maybe we need to get yelled at by the chief again?
Hello, Chief. I've got a question.
Oh, have you? I'm listening, but keep it short.
Maybe. Here we go.
Look, Chief, it's about these damn security regulations. I can't work this way.
You forget yourself, Halligan. You're standing in the office of your chief inspector. I don't want to hear any of your goddamn cursing in here.
Are you still cross with me because of that business with the royal family?
Indeed. Yes, indeed, Detective. The press and the inspectorate made my life hell for 8 weeks. You should be grateful that we somehow managed to keep things under control. But jokes like that are a thing of the past. Once and for all, you and Lowry will have to ask for my signature before you take a single step, even if you just want to go to the toilet.
Chief, that could take ages. We may lose important clues in the meantime.
I'm sure you'll cope with the situation, Halligan. Now, stop whining. I'm sick of hearing it.
Well then. But you'll be held responsible.
Of course, Halligan. That's what I'm your chief for. And now our nice little chat is over. Get back to work, Detective.
Of course, Chief. Thanks a lot.
Don't get stroppy, Halligan.
Okay, now can we do it?
No, not. It won't work like that. Looks like that won't
Oh
work.
my god.
That doesn't work.
Good lord. Am I missing something? Oh wait, that's the forensics lab.
Hello, Janet.
Hello, Brent.
Yeah, you've...
Indeed. Okay.
Oh, I've met...
That's
Yeah. Now I need some information.
Brent.
Damn bureaucracy. I need to make an inquiry, Janet, right now.
If you start shouting at me, I shall see the chief before you can count to 3. Do you understand? And now leave here, please. Come back when you've got the necessary forms. Here, take this sheet and get it signed.
There we go. Okay. See, sometimes pieces of clues are hidden behind, like you have to exhaust every dialogue option, because literally the only thing we did not do was yell at her, so you have to be the most bastard in order to get what you need to solve the puzzle.
I need a signature? Whose signature?
Oh my god, Brent. Don't pretend to be more stupid than you are.
Damn.
Good. See you later, then.
Take your time, Brent.
See, I thought I was missing. So she's supposed to give you something.
That's a form for information procurement.
Okay. Now. There we go. See, it's the other form.
Now I've got a clipboard with the form for information procurement and a sheet of carbon paper.
Okay. There we go. So now the chief does not want to give us his signature. So, we're going to...
Now I've got a clipboard with the form for information procurement, the carbon paper, and the form for stationery procurement. But the carbon paper juts out a bit. That will be noticed.
There we go. So we have stacked these two forms with the carbon paper in between. Okay.
What is it this time, Halligan?
So now we need his scissors to cut away the extra bits of the carbon paper so that it's not noticed.
I'd really like to...
Well, little
What was
the new...
You
Okay,
know,
we
of course.
did this part.
What amazing...
Halligan, what are you...
Do you know how...
Yes.
But you're not...
You really are a...
You're a...
I do.
Okay.
What is it?
Now...
I know that you'll say no.
You do, but not from me.
Do you know...
Keeps asking about...
And will you...
Just...
Okay.
Let's try the scissors again.
Hey, I've had enough. Get your paws off my scissors, will you? Hey, I've had enough. Get your... What is it this time,
Now he's not even
Halligan?
facing him when he talks to him.
Lowry,
What?
I've got some...
My God.
Have you got a couple of minutes, Lowry? I'd like to talk to you about a couple of things concerning the last skeleton murder.
I really don't feel like... Read the
Oh
file.
my god. Oh, is that it? See, this game does not give you any clues. There we go. See, I knew I was missing something, but not getting the form right threw me. Thank you for that.
I'd better leave that here.
Brent? Hello? Is that you? It's your mother. You know, I hate these modern talking machines. I haven't heard anything from you for months now, Brent. Is that any way to treat your mother? Aunt Annie's celebrating her 75th birthday at the weekend. We have both been invited. You will come, won't you? Brent? And please, wear something smart. Do me a favor.
Oh, God. That's all I need.
Goodness gracious. Ah, his poor mother.
I'd better leave that here.
Ren?
Okay, same message. I haven't saved in a while. I probably should. How glitchy this game is. Let's see.
I never use the receiver. That thing is just
Oh
too
my
heavy.
God.
Using the loudspeaker is much more
All
comfortable.
right, that's fine. Then use the loudspeaker.
It doesn't work like that. You don't hear anything, and nothing happens either.
Oh my God. Which one of these buttons is it? There we go. Oh, the one that has the speaker on. Okay.
Scotland Yard Detective Lowry. Hello? Hello?
So there are a couple of other messages here.
Miller speaking. I've had enough.
Here we go.
You better come to my office as soon as possible. Did you get that?
The Chief. I'm glad I've got that behind me.
Here we go.
Scotland Yard Detective Lowry.
Miller speaking. I've had enough. You better come to my office as soon as possible. Did you get that?
Oh, of course, sir. I'm coming. I'm on my way.
There we go. So for some reason, he's not doing it. He's supposed to give you his number, but you can get it that way. Like I just put in #*#. So you trick him into leaving his office thinking that he's in trouble with the chief again. You go in here and steal his scissors. We're going to use the scissors to trim the form.
Now I've got a clipboard with the form for information procurement and the form for stationery procurement. Phew.
God, even he's tired of this puzzle. So now we'll...
Lowry is in there. Rather him than me.
Right. Need to give him a minute. Go in here and listen to these other messages.
Halligan? This is Miller. Damn it, where are you? Do I have to speak to this damned answering machine if I want to get hold of you? If by any chance you happen to turn up in this department, I want to see you in my office. Let me give you some good advice, Detective Halligan. Don't interfere with our affairs. It wouldn't be very healthy.
What? Who was that?
A threat.
Hello, Mr. Halligan. This is Melanie Turner speaking. I was wondering why I hadn't heard from you, but Mr. Blake just called and told me everything. I'm out and about quite a lot at the moment, and you may have difficulties trying to get me
We
on the
already
phone.
did.
But if you need me, just leave a message. See you later.
Hello, sir. This is Owl's Pizza Palace. Your account from last quarter has not yet been paid. It amounts to £275. Please see to it within the next few days, otherwise we will have to stop serving you.
£275? Wow, that's my personal record.
God. He's proud of it. All of those calls must have come in, you know, while we were en route, out and about, just in this last little while, considering that she said Blake had called her. Here we go. Now Lowry's back in his office.
Chief, I've got an 88M9 order form for stationery here.
For stationery? You need new stationery again? Halligan, you'll lead this department to financial ruin someday. Do you know that?
Yes, sir. No, sir. It's nothing extravagant. I could do with a new pencil sharpener, that's all.
When will you learn to take better care of your things, Halligan? Scotland Yard can't print its own money. Every month, the accounts department gives me a hard time because of the deficit. Our budget for office costs is limited.
I know, Chief. But I'm not able to work without a minimum of stationery. Here, I've prepared this for you. You just need to sign it.
Okay then. Okay, give it to me. But that's the last time, you understand? You'll have to buy the next sharpener from your own money.
All right, Chief.
Anything else, Detective?
Nope.
No, that was it.
That's good. You know the way out, don't you, Detective?
Of course, Chief.
Yep, we've got everything we need, Lord. Okay. So now we have faked this form.
That's a form for information procurement.
So, oh, we need to zoom in on her first.
It's me again, Janet.
Hello, Brent. How's your case going? Have you got any further yet?
Here we go.
Janet, I need a database inquiry. Have you got time?
Of course, Brent. Have you got the form for me?
Yes, it's here.
There we go, at last. At last. We get to use the database.
Well, go ahead then.
I'm looking for information about a group called The Circle.
Circle. Just a sec. It won't take a moment. Yes, we've got something in the database about them. Let me see.
Them polygons, though.
An order of neo-druids. Their head office is in London. The head of the group is called Lord Sinclair.
Lord Sinclair.
Do we know about anyone with a criminal record within the group?
Now, just give me a second, Brent. Somebody once filed a complaint against Lord Sinclair for disturbing the nightly peace.
Is that all?
Yeah, she has to, so that you can see that smooth animation in the way that her head turns.
No, hang on. Oh, some months ago, a gardener was killed on Sinclair's estate. And the murderer was never found. After the murder, Lord Sinclair and his order were under surveillance for some time. But there was nothing conspicuous to be found.
Ah, that's interesting. Anything else?
Well, Sinclair was fined once for hunting without a license. No, nothing else.
Could you please print that out for me?
Of course. Would you mind telling me what these neo-druids have to do with your case? Is this one of your usual mad ideas?
Good. Thanks a lot, Janet. I have to go.
Okay, Brent.
We're just not going to talk about that. Alright, now we'll grab this. There we go.
That's the printout of the database information on the circle. Lord Sinclair's address is on it as well. 234 Winchester Street.
Something else I don't think that the game really tells us. Oh. I forgot about this. If you just click on it, he takes a picture of his face. No, we need to make a copy of this. So now we have two. Why do we have two? Because for some reason, Melanie needs one. She needs to be... There kind of is a reason. We talked about any time that we had any updates, we were going to update her so she would stay current on the case because she's consulting for us, right? So now that we actually have made a bit of a breakthrough, we're going to share some of that information with her. Off he goes.
Locked. Looks like Miss Turner is out.
That's alright, because there's a letterbox. We'll just put that in here because it's totally not confidential information. It's totally not sensitive police-only information from our government database that not just anyone should see.
That'll
There
do.
we go.
That should be enough for Ms. Turner to find me in case something happens to me.
It's fine. It's totally fine. Yeah, I was worried we'd have to use the phone again, too, the first time that I did this. It's like, oh, Lord, I'm going to have to find another beggar to poison. Alright, now we can see Lord Sinclair's house has appeared on our map, so we've got to go there. I think it's time, just in case, for another save. So here we go, let's buzz them and see if they'll let us in.
Yes? Who's there?
Is that Lord Sinclair?
No, sir. I'm sorry. I am his lordship's butler.
Why would Lord Sinclair answer his own intercom?
Scotland Yard. Please open the door.
I regret that his lordship does not receive beggars, salesmen, and police officers as a matter of principle,
Fair.
sir. Besides, Lord Sinclair is not at home at present.
If that's the way you want it, all right then. I'll be back. You can be sure of that.
Of course, sir. Thank you for your visit. Have a nice day.
Okay, so we gotta look around here for another way in so that we can investigate this extravagant manor house. Oh, and look over there. Familiar faces, right? The suspicious dudes that we saw in black shirts and sunglasses. Who's this friendly fellow?
Hello. Nice day today, isn't it?
Yeah, the weather's great. Just right for a walk.
Yes, that's what I thought. I didn't want to sit in the office any longer on such a wonderful autumn day.
Yes, I know what you mean. What kind of job do you do, then?
Me? Oh, I work with the agricultural office. Administration of public areas. That kind of thing.
Oh, y'all have got it.
You know.
Really? Is there something wrong with Lord Sinclair's
You're picking up the
gardens?
vibe.
No, everything's fine. I'm here on a private visit. I just wanted to get some fresh air.
Ahem.
You work for Lord Sinclair?
Yes, I'm his gardener. It's a big estate he has here, you know. Huge. He needs somebody to look after things on a regular basis.
When did you start working here?
Oh, only a few months ago. The position became vacant through a tragic
As we heard.
accident.
What kind of accident?
Lord Sinclair's last gardener was murdered.
What exactly happened?
Nobody knows. He was found on the estate, directly under the window of Lord Sinclair's study. His lordship found him himself.
And how did he die?
Well, that was a terrible thing. He was literally slashed. Some madman must have crept onto the estate.
Does his lordship have any enemies?
Well, rich people are always envied, aren't they? His lordship leads a secluded life and avoids any kind of trouble. But I guess there must be some people who can't stand him. People tell the most horrible stories about him here.
Go on.
And somebody even sent the police to his house.
Really? And why?
Because of the screams.
Screams? What kind of screams?
His lordship and his friends sometimes go into the forest and do strange screaming exercises.
Pardon me?
Yes, it's just some strange...
I don't ask about it.
You know what the aristocracy can be like.
You said that somebody called the police.
Them rich people is weird.
But of course they couldn't find anything. His lordship was questioned and fined, I think. But not because of the screams, because of the animal trophies in his drawing room.
It was because he hadn't got a shooting license, wasn't it?
Yes, I think that's right. How did you know?
Oh, I just guessed.
Don't worry about it.
How big is this piece of land?
At least 10,000 square meters, I would say. There's a big forest behind the house. Lord Sinclair had it laid out himself.
Did he do that recently?
No, that was a long
Laid out his
time
own
ago.
forest.
The trees in the forest look as if they were 100 years old, but of course that's not possible.
Why is that not possible?
Lord Sinclair told me that he had them planted. They must have grown very quickly.
How old is Lord Sinclair?
I don't know exactly, but from his outer appearance, I'd say he's about 60.
Not sus at all.
Would you show me the grounds?
Oh, I would like to do that, but Lord Sinclair has strictly forbidden all employees to take strangers onto the estate.
I see.
Oh, well, in that case, I suppose we'll have to find another way around.
Tell me more about the grounds.
Oh, Lord Sinclair's taste is exquisite. The whole park around the house was laid out according to his plans. For the fir tree plantation behind the house, he had young trees flown in from China.
Why was that?
Well, he likes Chinese firs better, and to him money is no object. If he likes something, he'll buy it.
Are you the only gardener?
Yes, but luckily I don't have to look after the whole garden. Only the hedges and the park in front of the house. Lord Sinclair himself takes care of the garden behind the house.
Why does he do that?
I don't know. The forest is his favourite place in the garden. He spends hours and hours there, and nobody is allowed in there, apart from himself and his closest friends.
His lordship must be really close to nature, then.
Oh, he loves nature more than anything else, just like his friends in the club. They make excursions to the countryside as well, to Epping Forest or to Stonehenge, to the Megalith Circle.
I have to go. Duty calls. Don't work too hard.
Thanks. Have a good day.
All right, so he has shared with us everything that we can get out of him. So, it's time to ruin his day. We need a distraction so that we can slip into the manor. How shall we do this? Let's start a fire. That's something we haven't done yet. What is that? That animation? He just goes over and just kind of waves at the fire, and then he just leaves. And we're just going to leave the fire. We're not going to put that out. But these shears that he dropped, on the other hand, that's something we can steal. And Detective Halligan loves stealing. Well, that's all we can do here. Let's find somewhere else to do some more damage. All right. Ah, a hedge. A hedgerow, perhaps. Just snap this electric fence.
Damn, the shears are broken.
Uh-oh.
The shears, ruined.
Oh no. That's fine though, because we have another pair.
Now the scissors are broken as well, but the hole should be big enough now.
Oh boy. Well, that's okay. It still is an electrified fence, but we have these. So, and you do have to click more than one time to make sure that you get both sections of it. So,
climb through here? What if I touch the fence?
Right.
That's too dangerous.
Yeah, it's too dangerous. We need some padding, right? We're going to have to put something in here so that we don't get shocked. What could we use? Well, how about our favorite green scarf? That's helped so far quite a lot. Here we go.
Janet's ugly scarf, wrapped up in a plastic bag.
Because that makes sense. Close enough, I guess. And we can't forget this. We did clip off a whole piece of wire.
A bit of wire from Sinclair's fence.
I'm sure we won't need that later. There we go. Totally inconspicuous.
How do you do, Mr. Halligan? How nice of you to visit us.
You know my name?
Certainly. Lord Sinclair has been expecting you.
He has? Is that boss of yours some kind of psychic or what?
Why don't you ask him that yourself? Let's go.
I love how he's just... You go through all of this to sneak in, and you are instantly caught. No hesitation. And then, yep, we have to watch this cutscene where he walks him literally the entire way across. Because that was certainly the place that we needed to spend a lot of time on that shot.
Mr. Halligan, it is a great pleasure to meet you in person at long last.
The pleasure's mine. Would you mind telling your charming pet gorilla here to point his damn pistol somewhere else?
Please forgive us this precautionary measure, Mr. Halligan. I happen to be a distrustful man. Jack.
Lord Sinclair, now that we've met, there are a few questions I'd really like to ask you.
Certainly, certainly. After dinner I will answer any questions you deign to ask me. Until then, please be my guest. Jack, please be good enough to show our guest to his chamber.
You do not seem to be quite aware of the situation you are in, Lord Sinclair. I'm a detective from Scotland
Yes, and you
Yard.
broke into my house illegally.
I don't want to have dinner with you. I'm here because of a series of murders in which you are a prime suspect.
With all due respect, Mr. Halligan, I took you for a wiser man than that. If anyone here is unaware of the situation they are in, you are. I have asked you to be my guest at dinner. Please don't disappoint me by refusing. Otherwise, I will have to ask Jack here to persuade you to stay in his own way.
I understand. I'm to stay here voluntarily, because if I don't, you'll force me. Is that it?
I'm glad we've settled that. Now, if you would please follow my friend Jack, he will show you to your room.
What is he looking at?
We will discuss everything else in detail later, over dinner.
Must be something on the floor over there. See, he's walking towards it now. God, this game.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Locked up in Lord Sinclair's house.
Are we having fun with Detective Halligan?
These pictures are ugly. A wardrobe.
Oh, maybe Narnia's through there.
This seems to be the way to the forest behind the house. The handles are locked. Lord Sinclair thinks of everything.
He locked the window. He thinks of everything. This mastermind. Nom 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 nom.
Oh my god, what's that supposed to be?
Nighttime.
Night has arrived. That's all I needed.
I'm still looking at the picture like he just stood there for 12 hours. Oh no, nighttime. How did it happen? How did it get here? And we still have puzzles to solve. So, like, watch. See, we just stole this fucking painting off the wall.
That's the picture with the tasteful motif.
So the implication is that he literally just zoned out until like 9 p.m. or something. I don't know.
That's a nail.
Oh my goodness, that is a nail. Now, how do you think that we will get the nail out of the wall? Because you know we have to have the nail, right? if we can examine the nail, if we can use the nail, we must take the nail. We must have this nail. How shall we get it? Not with one of these, like, bent tools, not with the loop of wire, right? The gloves, maybe? We went through this before. There's so many options. You'd think, right? Right? You'd think gloves is a good guess. I would have thought maybe like the shears or the scissors, right? Because even though they're mostly broken, it looks like you could still close them up a little bit and maybe pull the nail out. But no.
That's a nail.
Yeah, it is. It sure is. Well, let's not stay here any longer than we have to. Let's see. Where's the sweet spot? There we go. Right. That works. Yeah, you have to click over here because he starts over there. Let's just steal this floor tile while we're at it. Might as well.
What was that? God, somebody's screaming out there in the forest.
Yeah, remember, it's just screaming exercises. You know how rich people are, right?
It won't improve if I put this picture next to it.
Let's see, is it... Oh, right, I'm missing a step. We have to use the nail on the picture to cut the canvas out of the frame.
This is the frame of the picture I took down. That's the canvas I detached from the picture.
Now we'll do this. And you can see, like, he really cut it, too. Like, it looks like it's cleanly cut out of here, but nah. Okay, so here we go. We've got the canvas under the door. We're going to use the nail to push out the key that Jack, I guess, left in the keyhole and drop it onto this canvas.
Here we are.
And pull it back in. Because that was the only way to do that. And don't tell me that we had to remove these tiles to make the canvas fit under the door because it was too tight of a fit or something, because this is not a stretched canvas. Like, you can see he cut a piece out, so it's just thin. It's almost not quite paper thin, right? But look here. Look how much room there is. Look how much light is coming from under the door onto this tile next to it. Why did we have to remove the floor tiles in order to slide the canvas under there? Why did we have to do that? Oh my gosh. Who knows? Well, you know what? Here's the thing. I would accept that because, see, that's you trying to rationalize an irrational situation. You are making the most sense you can out of something crazy. Because look right here. Look, you can see how high the door is set up off of those floor tiles. We did not have to go through all of that in order to get that key to fit.
I don't want that.
No, you don't. Here. Now we can actually exit the room. Ta-da! And here we are, free to lurk about the house, to skulk around Lord Sinclair's estate. Here's where we came in. Honestly, yeah, like he's such a rogue. He's not very good at it though, is he? But you would think this would be the kind of person that he would carry lockpicks or something. So here's that passage Lord Sinclair went through earlier, presumably. Ooh, spooky wind. Spooky wind. All right. So, I'm going to save it here because we've been having fun, but the next part of the game gets... Well, let me just show you.
Hey, what the...
Then hides behind a bush because surely they didn't hear him approaching as he ran pell-mell down. Oh yeah, trigger word gore, I guess. Dinner time.
Well, Mr. Halligan, I don't believe I have introduced you to the gentlemen of my club yet. This is General Myers of the British Army. Next to him is Bishop Stevenson. The Earl of Sutcliffe, one of the Queen's closest advisors. And the gentleman sitting beside you is Mr. Smothers of the Worldwide Foods Corporation. I'm sure you're curious to learn what our club is all about. But I would suggest you have a bite to eat first. You look pale. You see, Mr. Halligan, you must know we have been following your investigations into these, shall we say, deaths in London for some time. I expect your experience in the park will have convinced you that we are, to a certain degree, responsible for these incidents. As you may have noticed, the meat we are eating at this meal has a rather unique flavor. It is human flesh, Mr. Halligan. This flesh is the source of life force. It grants us strength and power. You will soon discover the incomparable feeling of power for yourself. It will be grander than any feeling you have ever felt. Very soon now, when the day of the ritual's completion has come, our power will be perfect.
Halligan's just like, well, this might as well
Then it will
happen.
be time for the curse that will put an end to the wretched hustle and bustle of this world and make room for something grand and new. A world ruled by Druids. I must admit your investigations had us worried for a moment, Mr. Halligan. We had even made plans to put a stop to them by arranging a little extra. But you are a very lucky man. You will witness the great day yourself, and you will be there on the right side. For by eating this flesh, you have become one of us. Welcome to the circle, Mr. Halligan.
Okay, so the game is not making this clear at all. But Detective Halligan is being mind controlled by druid magic or something at this point. That's why he's just sitting there not saying anything, going along with it. Now it's Melanie, the other Dr. Turner. God, that shot. Okay, and here we are. And she says nothing. She just appears. And suddenly we are playing as Melanie again. Now I'm going to save it again here. Because this next bit can be kind of frustrating. And if you don't do things exactly right, you get a game over. So... now keep in mind, they do have separate inventories, so she doesn't have anything that Halligan had, right? But the hole is still here. They didn't bother to patch that up and fix it.
Ow! There are some stones here.
Oh. It's totally fine. There's some stones here. Ouch. So we get no explanation. Like, she just shows up here, and that's kind of it. Like, so now she just breaks into the place and is saving Halligan, and there's no explanation for why or how she knows he's in trouble, other than that one throwaway remark he made when he put the paper through the mail slot that said, now Melanie will know what to do if she doesn't hear from me if I go missing. Alright, so see how this guy is like patrolling back and forth, right? And she's picked up some rocks. So we don't want to get caught, obviously.
What was that?
Let's have a look.
There we go. We got to throw a rock at that bush. And then we've got to run over here while their back is turned. Okay, now we've got to run over here while they're still over there before they come back.
Stop!
Oh,
Stop
see?
right there.
Somehow they can see us from literally all the way around there.
Oh no! Where am I now? This is like being in a ghost train. That must be Lord Sinclair's study.
So technically they saw us, but because she was already locked into the animation and we got the scene transition, they didn't catch her because she got through into the other scene. But yeah, they can see you from literally all the way around on the front corner on the other side of the building. Very perceptive, these guards. Okay, so now we are here.
A pentagram. A druid's foot would suit Lord Sinclair better.
A druid's foot. A druid's foot, you say? Alright, so we can turn this. Right? Let me see. What is the correct combination? Here we go. See, this part moves as well. Right, yeah, see, we got inside, so it's totally fine. See, this one little guy here. He moves around the outside, around the outside, around the outside. So, there we go. I think we heard the click. There we go. That unlocks this. Ta-da! Now it's a safe. Oh. think it is here. Let me reset. Oh, it doesn't reset. Okay, so let's see. There are clues in this room that give you the combination here, but there's one. I'm skipping it because it's kind of BS. There we go. There we go. So the combination is 1016.
Voila! Open. This is the Amulet of Transformation Mr. Blake talked about. It seems to be really important for Lord Sinclair.
So here we go. And what's this?
The parchment is full of runes.
It sure is.
I can't read a single word.
That face.
Mr. Halligan. God, what a relief. Oh, what was that for? Have you gone mad? What's wrong, Brent? Why are you hitting me?
Who are you? What are you doing here?
Oh, God, stop it! What's the matter with you? Don't you recognize me? Brent, stop it! Brent, you bloody idiot!
Oh my god.
What?
That shift back to...
Is that you? Do you recognize me?
Of course I recognize you. Bloody hell, what's going on? Oh my god, I'm feeling sick. Everything's spinning.
I had to hit you over the head. You were acting like a madman.
Wait, I just have to get it together for a moment. Oh, Melanie, you can't imagine what I've gone through.
You want to take that line again?
How did you get here anyway?
You want to take that one again?
I got your message. Can't you remember? I thought you might need help out here.
Oh, right. The copy.
I had a look around the room, Brent, and I found the amulet Mr. Blake mentioned on the phone.
Where?
It was in Sinclair's safe, together with a parchment.
So Sinclair had it. I'm sure Mr. Blake will be interested in that.
But now, tell me what's been happening here, Brent. What's Sinclair up to?
Melanie, I saw how this Lord Sinclair killed somebody.
What? When did you see that? And where?
Last night, here on the estate. Sinclair caught me immediately after my arrival and had me locked up. I could hear screams when I was in that room. Horrible screams. I escaped and ran outside to the forest behind the estate. And there I saw it.
What did you see?
Sinclair and some other men. They wore habits, and they were just about to cut a living human being into pieces with a sickle.
That can't be true.
I saw it with my own eyes, Melanie. It was horrible.
Oh, God. And what happened to you? Why didn't you recognize me?
It must have had something to do with the food.
What food?
Sinclair and his friends invited me to their dinner. The food did something to me. Anyway, Sinclair had no compunction in telling me all about the Circle and about their future plans over dinner. The Circle wants to complete the ritual and to put a curse on the world which will make us all their slaves.
That's nonsense.
No, Melanie. You've seen what these people did to me. They're mad. And they are serious. I'm sure about that now.
What's going on in there? Open the door! Open it at once!
The guards, Brent. They're at the door. We have to leave.
Open the door! Jack, get the key!
Yeah, Melanie, I think you're right. We really should get out of here. And we should do it now.
Yes, thank God. I couldn't have taken it in that house even a second longer.
Everything okay?
Yes, I'm a bit out of breath. And you, Brent?
My head is still throbbing a bit.
Hard camera cut.
Okay.
Thank goodness that's
go,
over.
Melanie, now.
Where?
To Mr. Blake. If anybody can tell us something about the incidents in this house, he can.
Okay, Let's move.
Mr. Blake, I'm glad you're here. There's a lot we need to tell you. We've experienced
I'm glad
something
you're
simply
here in your
incredible.
house.
Calm down, Mr. Halligan. Let's discuss it all in peace and quiet. Well, perhaps you'd like to introduce me to the young lady?
Oh, of course. I almost forgot in all this excitement. Mr. Blake, this is Dr. Melanie Turner from the Anthropological Museum in Oxford.
Oh, yes, of course. We spoke on the telephone.
That's right. Pleased to meet you at long last, Mr. Blake.
Now, what's been happening? Have you found out any more about the circle?
Any more? It's a nightmare, Mr. Blake.
Go on.
So, while there is a moment's pause here, I also have to comment on what Halligan said just a moment ago about how he blamed the food. He said the food must have done something to me. Now, of course, you can interpret that as he's trying to rationalize something because he doesn't know what else it could be, right? So he's guessing. He's making the best guess that he can. I don't know why I was acting like that. There must have been something in what they fed me, because it sounds like he doesn't remember that the food was human flesh, that's what he ate. But we know that he was magicked first, right? That he got enchanted or mind controlled or whatever beforehand, and that's why he was just sitting there blankly eating the food. But the way he tells it kind of makes it sound like he wasn't. So, like, he's just sitting there with that blank expression, not saying anything, while Sinclair went on about his plans for world domination, and Halligan's just, like, nodding and toasting or whatever, and knowingly eating the human flesh with that dead-eyed gaze. And he only started acting weird after he consumed that. So everything up to that point was just Detective Halligan. Oh, gosh. Sure. This might as well happen.
Mr. Blake, we found the amulet you were talking about. The Amulet of Transformation.
You found it? My God. Show me.
Yes, we're doing that.
Yes, that's it. Where was it?
In a hidden safe. In the office of the leader of this ominous circle. There was a parchment with it, with completely illegible signs on it. Here, take a look. Do they make any sense to you?
They're very unusual runes. I'll have to take a look at this in peace. Go on with your story. You were saying you know who's leading the circle? Who is it?
The circle is led by an aristocrat called Lord Sinclair.
Lord Sinclair. Never heard of him. How did you find out?
Research. Scotland Yard observed the group for a while. There was an entry in the database, so I drove out to his place. It's a pretty pretentious estate on Winchester Street.
You drove out there all by yourself?
Yes.
That was rather careless of you, Mr. Halligan.
You can say that again. He'd obviously been expecting me and had me locked up at once.
What happened next?
I witnessed a murder taking place.
Murder? On Sinclair's estate?
Yes. I saw them cutting the flesh from a
Stop
human
making me
body.
click.
A live body.
With a sickle?
Yes.
I knew it. What you witnessed was a ritual for the transferal of life force. Were you seen?
I passed out. When I came to, I was sitting at a laid table with Sinclair and 4 other men.
Was there food on the table?
Yes, meat.
You didn't eat any, surely.
Yes, I did.
Oh my God.
I know. It was the victim's flesh, wasn't it?
Yes. You have taken part in the ritual, Mr. Halligan. How on earth did you manage to get away?
Miss Turner got me out. If it hadn't been for her, I wouldn't be here now.
You're a brave woman, Miss Turner.
See, if there's only one dialogue choice, just do it. Just go.
What do we do now?
Why don't we just send a police contingent round there? You're a detective, Mr. Halligan, and Lord Sinclair is a murderer.
There won't be anything to find by the time they get there. Sinclair and his friends are no fools. They'll proceed as they've done in all the other cases. They'll just dump the bones somewhere to save the police hunting high and low for a corpse. Scotland Yard will file it away. End of case.
Ahem.
Have you found out yet what stopped the completion of the ritual
The
1,000
important
years
part.
ago?
I've deciphered the text a little further, but some of the signs are just completely unknown to me.
I thought you said the amulet was important to the ritual.
Yes, that's what the inscription says.
Yeah, but then everything's all right now. After all, I've got it. Let's just melt it down, then this nightmare will be over.
Mr. Halligan, you're forgetting the ritual has already taken place. 1,000 years ago. It just didn't reach perfection. Only part of the power was transferred to the infants. The inheritors are now trying to complete their ritual.
But if this amulet means so much to Sinclair, surely it must be needed for the perfection.
I'm not so sure about that. Sinclair may be interested in it for some other reason.
What makes you think that?
The title written on the parchment you gave me.
He's the one who told us that in the first place. But at least he's going to explain why he's changed his mind.
What does the parchment's title say?
Unless I'm very much mistaken, the text refers to a place known as 12 Bridges.
What kind of place is that?
12 Bridges is an abandoned complex near Glastonbury. The bridges are in great danger of collapsing. Ancient Celtic myths refer to the place as the Gate of the Worlds.
Gate of the Worlds? What's that supposed to be?
You know, Mr. Halligan, the Celts did not regard reality and time as insurmountable facts. On the contrary, they regarded them as illusions, which man's laziness and ignorance made him incapable
I want
of
to fact
overcoming.
check that.
Celtic shrines were always special places that allowed them to leave the normality of everyday reality. Celtic myths claim that 12 Bridges has been a consecrated site for millennia, a place where the body can step over into another time.
Why are you reading it like William Shatner? Also, I love how they throw around the word Celt, like that was a group of multiple cultures and just lumping them all together in this huge monolith. Most people do, you know, and you say Celtic and you think like Scotch-Irish or whatever, which I'm sure people of that descent find insulting. Yeah, exactly. It's like I told you, it's a place with 12 bridges. Bruh, have you not been following along?
You mean 12 Bridges is the gate to a journey through time?
According to the legend, yes.
But nothing's ever been reported
No
of
shit.
such a journey.
Well, that doesn't make it impossible, does it? The place has not been closely examined so far. It's too dilapidated. Just entering the place is taking a very serious risk. Anyway, nobody really believes in time travel anymore these days.
Oh my god.
Why would Sinclair keep a parchment about that place in his safe?
You see, Mr. Halligan, that's what I've been wondering. If Sinclair knows the place and keeps a parchment about it hidden in his safe, wouldn't it be conceivable that journeys through time really are possible from 12 bridges?
Sure, that lines up.
He wants to travel back in time?
Well, he'd certainly be doing his best to make sure nobody else made that journey. Maybe Sinclair wants to prevent anyone from traveling back in time and disturbing the ritual.
Why would anyone do that? And why would Sinclair be so concerned about it?
It's easy. No ritual, no inheritors. No inheritors.
No Lord Sinclair. I see.
Of course, these are just speculations.
Wild speculations.
As I said, Mr. Halligan, we need the book from the library. I should be able to tell you more when I've translated the parchment.
Okay, but we have to click this one.
Why do they call the place 12 Bridges?
It's a very strange arrangement of 12 stone bridges. No one knows why they were built that way. They probably weren't the first thing that was erected there anyway. The current bridge array dates from the early Middle Ages. If, as I suspect, that place has been a Celtic shrine for centuries, there are bound to have been other structures there at some point.
Thank you, Mr. Blake. I'll see what I can make of it.
Good. If you have any more questions, don't hesitate to call on me anytime you like.
I feel like you can tell that this fellow, like, they gave him an enormous amount of dialogue to read, and towards the beginning of it, he was doing a lot better, and the further into it he got, the more he started phoning it in, and he kind of got into, like, a mental rhythm where everything he said sounded exactly the same. Detective Halligan, call me if you need help. Like, because he just had lines and lines of dialogue, and they probably did it all in 1 or 2 sessions. Oh my goodness. Okay, so there we go. We've been told we need a book from the library. We're just going to leave Melanie here. She's played her part. Don't you love how, like, there's technically 2 characters with 2 separate inventories, but each time that we play Melanie, it is literally for like 30 to 60 seconds each time. All right. The Museum of Oxford. Actually, we should be able to go to Oxford Library. That's weird. It's not on the map. Uh-oh, do we need to go... talk to him about it again? Did we miss something somehow? I love that transition because even as the door shutting behind him is synced with the door opening at the front, so it's almost like that's the front door and this is just the only room in the house. We can't even talk to Melanie now.
Hello, Mr. Blake. Hello, Melanie.
Hello, Brent. How could you just leave like that?
There was something I needed to see to.
I have quite a few things to see to as well. Shouldn't we discuss with Mr. Blake what's to be done next?
Yes, Mr. Halligan.
We
no
literally
time to
did
lose.
that.
All right. Mr. Blake,
We talked with him about every single... We exhausted every conversation option.
I thought you said the amulet was important to the ritual.
Yes.
Right, okay, yes. We literally talked about all of that.
Can you read what the parchment says?
The signs resemble
This is
those
what we
on
didn't
the
say.
inscription I'm working on, but I'm just not getting anywhere with it. All I've been able to make out of the parchment so far is the title. I need a special book to continue. The Celtic Orthographic System by Scott M. Winfield. Oxford University Library should have it. Mr. Halligan, please get me a copy of that book. I believe the translation of this parchment is the key to Lord Sinclair's intentions.
There we go. So even though he literally said we needed that book already, if you don't click that specific conversation choice, it doesn't appear on the map and you can't progress.
Thank you, Mr. Blake. We'll see what we can make of this.
We're much obliged, Mr. Blake.
I wish you both the best of luck. Take care of yourselves, and come back to see me soon.
All right, now we should be able to go. Yeah, see, and now Melanie's following us.
This thing is getting more and more mysterious. I can't believe what Mr. Blake said.
We have to find out why this amulet is so important to Sinclair. Perhaps Mr. Blake is right, and the amulet is the key to preventing the ritual. I expect we'll know more as soon as the translation of the parchment is finished. I have to go to Oxford, Melanie. I have to get the book to Mr. Blake.
Yes, of course. That's fine by me. I really need to check a few things at home. Where shall we meet later?
I'll get in touch with you as soon as I have any news, okay?
All right. I'll be off then.
Okay, Melanie. See you later.
There she goes. Goodbye, Melanie. Now, there we go. Library of Oxford. It's instead of Museum of Oxford, it's in the same spot. They couldn't afford another course point on the map, I suppose, or POI. I said course point like I'm talking about Super Mario World.
This is it. Oxford University Library.
Indeed. Just walk all the way on top of the car.
Aha. Alarm protected.
Well, it's a BMW as well. I'm sure that this will not be important. Let's go into the library. Here we've got to talk to the librarian.
Excuse me, I'm looking for a book.
Oh, how nice for you.
Quite. Do you think you could help me?
Help you? Why?
Because I've never been here before.
There's always a first time, young man. I'm sure you will manage.
Perhaps, but I'm sure it would be a lot easier if you just helped me, young lady.
I suppose you think you're highly amusing. I'm very busy, and I'm not being paid for teaching people how to use a library.
Oh my goodness.
What are you sitting here for if you won't even help me?
I'm sitting here to make sure no books are stolen. I can't do people's research for them as well.
Don't you have a security system?
Yes, we do. The trouble is, it only reports a theft. Someone has to catch the thief and confront him, don't they?
True. And that someone is you?
Naturally. And believe me, I can be very unpleasant.
Oh, I believe
to deal
you.
with.
Oh, I believe you.
Forgot that's literally what he says. My favorite part is how the soft jazz in the background did like a sexy, like, saxophone like note as she made that movement. I can be very unpleasant to deal with. Doo-doo-doo.
I'll see what I can do by myself then.
You do that.
Oh my god. Incredible. Now there are things you can look at here.
An old book written with a quill pen. Looks pretty valuable.
I love the way he says that, like, I could steal this.
An old illustrated book. I bet it's very
See, that's the only thing he comments on.
An old book. It's bound to be
See?
valuable.
That's all he says. He doesn't comment on, like, how the beauty of it, the artistry. He just, like, wow, I bet that's worth a lot of money. Huh. Well, let's awkwardly hop over here.
The Roman monetary system and fiscal policies. At least 10 copies.
So we'll just take one.
That's the book. The Roman monetary system and fiscal policies. Must be a bestseller.
Okay, now. She did not mention this. Let's talk to her again and see if I can get her to say it.
You again? Haven't you found your book yet?
No. How could I? Look, I'd really appreciate your helping me.
You repeat yourself, young man.
Let's see.
I thought it was your job to give people like me information.
Don't think you can tell me what my job is.
It was an obvious question.
Look, young man, my job is to answer questions the computer can't answer. Have you asked the computer yet?
No.
Well then, go to the computer and check the database.
There we go.
I'll see what I can do by myself then.
You do that.
I needed her to say that because so many things in the game are based off of whether or not you've clicked the right dialogue option that I'm not sure if you can actually use the computer before she tells you to. Also, I just want to call out, like, shout out to this dude up here risking his life on the banister. Very cool.
The cataloging computer. Excuse me, sir. I hope I'm not disturbing you.
I know this was 2001, but I can't believe that the computer actually looked like that.
Are you going to be long? I need to use the computer.
Just a minute. I won't be long.
What's your research all about? Hello?
What in heaven's name is it?
What is your research all about?
What are you shouting for, young man? Don't you know you're expected to keep your voice down in a library? I'm studying the principle of chaos in the scriptures. I need these results to support my theory.
Couldn't I help you with your research?
No, that's not possible. The subject is simply far too complex. I don't even quite understand what results my research may lead to myself yet.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. Just the one, right? Because it's Oxford. Just one.
So you're not going to let me use the computer?
No, I'm sorry. I can't. My work is extremely urgent. Why don't you take a look in the card index box?
But I'll never find anything in there.
Whatever. I need this computer, and that is that.
Well.
All right then, Professor. I've got work to do.
Good. Make yourself useful. Carpe diem, I
All
always
right
say.
then, Professor, you won't let me use the computer? Then I've got work to do, and that is a threat. So here we go. Once again, another puzzle to solve. How are we going to use the computer? Well, we've been told there's a security system, right? Let me try and clarify this a little bit. Here we go.
Do you know whose car that is outside?
Out in the forecourt? That's my car. Why?
I think it's in a no parking area.
Oh, never mind. As a university employee, I have special permission to park my car anywhere I like, and good old Mrs. Owen knows about it. It's no problem.
I'm sure I wouldn't leave my car standing around completely unguarded outside a university.
Nonsense. Cars don't get demolished at elite universities.
The window on the driver's side isn't shut properly.
Oh well. It's a nice day. It can't hurt to let some air in.
Isn't that taking rather a risk?
No. After all, the car's just outside the door. It's quite safe.
Oh, well, that's all right then.
All right. So, now we know the car belongs to the professor. We need to get rid of the professor so we can use the cataloging computer. Which, first of all, this is not, it wouldn't be a cataloging computer. Well, anyway. There we go. We're just going to reverse pickpocket that book about Roman fiscal policy onto the professor. It's a good thing that Lord Sinclair didn't steal all of our stuff, right? Like, you know, this picture frame and this key of his that we took. Now, we did notice, and he did mention, that the driver's side window is not all the way properly shut. So, that being the case, remember this wire that we picked up, right? Let's see. Here we go. He doesn't have any lockpicks, but he's very good at that. Looks like he's done it quite a few times. And there we go. The professor hears his car alarm.
Professor Hastings, what are you doing?
Who? Me? Nothing. I must be off to my car. My alarm just went off.
Professor, what's that book you're carrying?
Book? I don't have a book. Please don't joke now, Mrs. Owen. I have to see to my car.
What's this then?
But how the devil? That's impossible. I didn't take this book.
Then how did it get
Where
there?
even is she?
There must be some mistake. A very regrettable mistake, Mrs. Owen. I assure you...
I like your nerve, Professor Hastings. You steal a book and then try to deny the whole thing.
I can imagine she's just...
I'm very
she's saying all this from her desk.
Mrs. Owen, you've known me for 20 years now. You ought to know that I'd never...
All I know is that I'm going to have to put this on record. Please come along over here to the issuing counter, Professor. You will have to fill in a form.
Look at his sad, slow walk. We've ruined a 20-year friendship. Stained this professor's sterling reputation. Panicked an old man about his expensive car. But, you know, it's okay. It's alright. Because now... Oops, other door. I threw off my own timing. Because now... we can use the computer. So it's all fine, isn't it? It's all okay. System date 99/10/21. So according to this, by the time that the year, either this takes place in 1999 or it's taking place in 2001 when the game was published and the system hasn't been updated in 2 years. All right, there we go. 48.3 CB. You can see how the shelves and things are like numbered on the sides. Say like 1 through 13. So now we just have to find section 48.3 CB. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Down this way, I think. I believe. Okay, so here's B, C, D, E. This is C, so we need to go here.
Which one? Which one? Which one?
It's up here. Because it's 3 CB. So B meaning it's on this side, like the right-hand side, section C, shelf 3. Number 48 on the shelf, presumably.
That's the book I was supposed to get for Blake. The Celtic Orthographic System by Scott M. Winfield.
All right. Now we just have to check it out because we know we can't steal it. Now the professor's gone. He left in shame.
You again? Haven't you found your book yet?
No. How could I? Look,
Well, actually,
I really
we did find our
appreciate your
book.
helping me.
You repeat.
Here.
Here, madam. I found the book I was
He
looking
just shows
for.
it to her and immediately
I'd like
puts
to
it back.
borrow it.
This one?
Yes. Is there something wrong with it?
You bet there is. This is our reference copy.
What's that supposed to mean?
I can't lend it to you. You will have to read it here.
You can't be serious, surely. I need this book. I have to take it to someone.
You heard me.
Now this is another puzzle with a completely insane solution. Like there's no problem here because the fact that she said this is our reference copy, that implies that they have a non-reference copy. So like just check out the other book.
Do you at least have a copying machine?
No. Why don't you copy the pages you need by hand?
Madam, I've told you the book's not for me. I wouldn't know which pages are important, and I can hardly copy the whole book by hand.
That's
not your problem, right?
Right.
I thought
Oh
as
my
much.
god.
Couldn't you make an exception?
We don't do exceptions. Have you any idea how many reference copies we have had stolen?
Well, if you've had very many, then you're not doing your job very well. That job that apparently you sit here and do.
All right, forget it.
Fucking incredible. All right. Let's see. Sit over here. Oh, the professor's back at the cataloging computer at least. The search computer, the OPAC. Ah, here we go. We have to tell another lie. There are 10 copies at least, right? He's going to take the dust jacket.
The cover of this history book is a perfect fit for the book I want to borrow.
There we go. We'll just disguise it. Oh my gosh. Incredible. A+ library usage.
Right, I've finished here. I found a different book that interests me. I assume you'll let me borrow this one.
We'll see. What have we here? Let me see. Oh, the Roman monetary system and fiscal policies. Yes, you may borrow this one. And just think, I've actually read this one. What a coincidence. A brilliant piece of work. Very vivid and never gets boring. You know, I wanted to be a historian, and Roman coins were my special field. But then I met my husband here at the university. He was working on his doctoral thesis at the time, and, well, you know how it is. I could discuss Roman coins for hours.
Madam? This is all highly interesting, but I do really want to borrow this book.
Oh, yes, of course. Forgive me. Here you go.
Thank you for the book, and your great help.
Oh, I do hope you're not angry with me. If there's any way I can help you, please, don't hesitate to tell me.
Not for the moment, thank you. I really must be off now.
Naturally. See you soon.
She thinks that he likes Roman coins, and so suddenly she's super nice. But yeah, right? See, like, this is another thing. You never get away with this. Because, okay, there's a number of reasons why. First of all, they had barcodes in 1999, which is what you... Like, if they're using a computer system to check things in and out, that's probably how they were doing it. But second of all, this right here is your main indicator. RFID security has existed for time out of mind. That's what they use at things like Walmart or, you know, department stores and stuff like that, or even grocery stores to make sure that you're not stealing anything. So if this went off when we literally just solved a puzzle that was based around stealing a book and taking it through this gate, implying that there is a radio tag, an RFID tag, inside every book. So that's actually probably how she was checking the book out, which means that when she did it, if she scanned it by that tag in order to deactivate the tag so that the gate didn't go off when he took it through, it would come up where she could see it in the computer system as a different book. Because the RFID tag attached to the book would have the correct information on it. Quick, let's go before she figures it out, before she notices. Oh my god, I hate this game. I hope y'all are having as good a time as I am. It's so funny. Alright, so we gotta take this book back to old Arthur Blake here. Good old Arthur. Quickly, teleport inside. There we go. Oh my goodness gracious.
Here you are. Here's the book you asked for.
Ah, yes. Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Halligan. Well, did you have any difficulties with Mrs. Owen at the issuing counter?
None I couldn't handle.
Good. I'll get to work at once. Oh, by the way, Mr. Halligan, Miss Turner called about an hour ago. She's worried about you because you haven't been in touch for such a long time.
Did she say that?
Yes. She said she needs to speak to you urgently.
Do you mind if I use your phone?
No need. I asked her to come out here and join me. She should be arriving any minute now.
How long will the translation take?
Oh, not long, I hope. The book will be a great help. You'd better just wait here for a moment.
God, this part coming up.
Then, if you don't mind.
Of course not. Be my guest.
We'll just look around. It'll be totally fine.
Mr. Halligan, there you are. I've been looking everywhere for you.
Well, I had to get Mr. Blake this book.
That took rather a long time. I've been phoning around asking for you.
You've been trying to get hold of me?
Yes. I also went to Scotland Yard and spoke to your chief. He's a bit cross with you.
Cross with me? Why, what have I done now?
Lord Sinclair's planning to bring charges against you for burglary.
What? I don't believe it. That old devil Sinclair seems to feel he's pretty safe, doesn't he?
It looks that way. It seems he has very influential friends.
Of course, the cops work for the rich.
Whatever. Your chief asked me to tell you that you're suspended, effective immediately. Oh, and the next time you come to the office, he expects you to give him a comprehensive report in writing.
What? He can't be serious. Don't tell me he's handing the case back to that thick-headed, big-mouth Lowry.
I wouldn't know. All he said was that he expects you to hand the file to him as soon as you get back to the yard.
I certainly will not. This business is just too important to let go. I don't care what the chief says. I'm going to carry this case through on my own.
Oh boy.
What's going on out there?
What is
Oh
it?
no, his nice clock.
Leave me! Get out of the danger zone! Here, take the part.
That's not even the same voice actor.
Come along, Mr. Blake. Let's get out of here.
You get out of here. I'll
There we
follow
go. Now it's the other voice actor.
Get out of here! Quickly, run!
I believe you have something of mine, Mr. Halligan. I shall give you until sunset to give my property back to me.
Oh, you saw it. The house got hit by a druid fireball.
Oh, God! Mr. Blake! I have to go back and get him out of there.
Are you crazy? Don't go. It's pointless. You can't help him anymore. He's dead.
Yeah, you're right.
They instantly give up. Yeah, you're
Let's
right.
get out of here, Melanie. Otherwise, we'll be next.
Where can we go?
No, the chief will fire me.
No, that's not a good idea. The chief
Someone just
inspector's
tried to
waiting
fire
for
us
me
just
there.
now,
We only
so.
lose time. And Sinclair is getting more and more powerful with each new murder.
So what can we do?
You heard what Mr. Blake said. Sinclair has the power to complete the ritual. No matter what we do, for the time being, nobody can stop him.
Then we're lost.
No, Melanie. We have one chance left.
What do you mean?
We have to go to 12 bridges. We have to try to move the gate of the worlds. If we want to stop Sinclair, we have to stop those who gave him his power 1,000 years ago.
You believe in that gate of the worlds thing?
He just
It's
says
just a myth,
it.
a fairy tale.
The question is not whether I believe in it, Melanie. The question is whether we have any other options.
You're right.
Yeah, you're right.
Come on, then.
Instantly, that is the only sensible thing. That's all we can do. All right, and Blake said, you know, oh, nobody knows very much about it. No one goes in there because it's dangerous. It's just never been closely examined. A place that looks like this. No scientist has ever really just gotten close enough to take notes or anything. It's, you know, because humans are totally going to stay away from something that looks that fantastical.
This place is just incredible,
Yes. It's beautiful.
but also rather ramshackle, just like Mr. Blake told us.
That long pause when the video loads, like for the cutscene, and it's just a flat gray screen for like a really long moment. Always makes me nervous that the game's gonna crash because it's so willing to do so. So, you know, just be aware. Like, no, it's some of these cutscenes just have really long shots, kind of like at the end there where the house was burning, and there's just like almost 60 seconds of the two of them just standing there locked in an animation loop, looking at it burning before it goes on and goes back to gameplay. So no, it's just like that.
How can we get to the rocky island?
The bridges don't look very inviting to me.
Yes, I can see what you mean. A lot of them have cracks as well. It's probably too much of a risk. They will collapse one after the other.
But we can't just stay here and hope for a miracle either. We have to do something.
We've got to do something.
Did Blake say anything else that could help us?
I don't think so. Not while I was there, anyway. You were the one who talked to him.
He only told me that there had been a place of worship at this location for millennia.
That doesn't help us much, does it?
What do you think? Why
was it built like this?
I don't know. I'm an anthropologist, not an architect.
I don't have any opinion on why someone would do things like this and why they would pick these particular shapes or put it in this particular place. That's something an architect would know, and I'm an anthropologist. Oh, did the developers ever talk to a scientist of any kind?
Do you think you can really time
Oh, well, I can, but you won't be able to,
I'd
Halligan.
say it's impossible. But like you said, it's our only chance. If this doesn't get us anywhere, we're finished. We should try everything.
I love how that's the explanation for why she's so willing to just jump on board instantly, even though she wasn't there for a lot of the conversation.
We will find a way of getting over that.
I hope so,
We
Brent.
absolutely will, but we will do that in our next episode because I regret to inform you that Detective Halligan will return in part 3 of The Mystery of the Druids next Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, which is New York and Miami time here in the US. I'm so sorry, y'all. We're going to have to keep playing. We've got to get all the way through. Right? We have to. We've got to. We're invested. It's sunken cost fallacy. Oh boy. Oh, well, we had a heck of an adventure this time, didn't we? Oh my goodness gracious. So, I'm not going to be streaming this Saturday, of course, because last time we finished Baldur's Gate Siege of Dragonspear. It came in right at 50 episodes, which I couldn't have planned it better if I had planned it at all. And the finale was really great. I had a lot of strong feelings about parts of it, but it was really great. So if you haven't seen that and you've been following the series, go over and catch the finale. It is a perfect segue into Baldur's Gate 2, which we will play one of these days. But before we get there, next Saturday, October the 1st, I will be back with a very special event. I'm going to be marathoning all of Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. I'm going to play the entire game in one sitting. I'll be starting a little bit earlier than I usually do, so that is going to be kicking off at around 2 p.m. Eastern Time, and that way it gives me wiggle room to go as long as I need to go, because average estimates of playtime for the whole game to 100% it are around 14 hours, and I don't think I'll need quite that long because I have played it many times and I won't have to like look around to find stuff like you would if it was your first playthrough. But I am also going to be clearing all of the battlefields and things like that in order to get all of the drops and to do a little bit of level grinding. So I'm not sure how long it'll take me. I've never played it all in one sitting. So we'll find out. Don't miss that. I'll have more information about it on Twitter. Of course, our Patreon patrons already knew about this in advance, and you can join them over there if you want to find out about other stuff like this in advance, as well as helping to shortlist other games, such as this one, for the public Twitter polls. You can follow over there on Twitter for more channel information and updates, and don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, especially if you're watching this on YouTube after the Twitch live stream. And I will catch y'all back here on Monday. And because this past Monday, my wonderful husband, Specific Pixel, who is with us in the chat today, was, yeah, well, for you, I suppose, if you're somewhere that's in a different time zone, then oof. We'll see. I don't expect anybody to be here the entire time. Let me make that clear for the Mystic Quest playthrough. It's going to be a long day. I'm going to be taking breaks and stuff, so people I'm sure will drop in and out, and that is totally fine. But anyway, so yeah, Specific Pixel has been guiding me through Paper Mario. We played that this most recent Monday, so that means that this coming Monday will be Emilia's return in Saga Frontier Remastered Edition as we continue her story, and we're going after the Victory Rune in Mew's Tomb over in Shrike so that we can get the gift for rune magic before we press on with the main story. So look forward to that, and I will see y'all when I see you. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight. I appreciate the privilege of your time, and as always, thanks for playing.